all you have is money, then you're not actually rich. This is my opinion, but if all you have is money, if you have the world's riches, which is money, fame, fortune, houses, and that's all you have, you're not actually rich. Because if all you have are temporary vices, well, then you may be rich for a mere moment. But if it all fades, do you really even have wealth in the first place? If it doesn't last, do you even own anything? If it all dies with the decaying of your body, have you gained anything? Do you actually have something? This is the one of the biggest problems I've wrestled with understanding the intricacies of the universe is this chase that we so pursue after, this maze that we pursue in of temporary fixes for our beings, which I believe are eternal. And I guess the stance that you could take is there's not enough proof to proclaim that we are eternal beings and that we're separate from our bodies and that it matters that we have consciousness and that we're different from animals in that sense. But in my opinion, that further proves that, and it shows that we were made for more. But even more so, if all we have is this world, money burns up in a mere instant. You could be one of the richest people in the world, and your entire business falls in an instant. And so, in my opinion, the richest man is the one who loves deep. The richest man is the one who serves the most. Because if all you do is have wealth, then you've never actually learned anything. You've never actually, wealth in the sense of money. You've never, you don't go forth from that. All you know is that. It's like you study one thing your whole life, and then that's all you know. And so I suppose that there is knowledge in it, and there is beauty still in it, of course. But if that is your only goal, my point of this video is if your only goal on this earth is to make money, then I think you're living wrong. I think you're missing a huge part of the human experience, which is love. Now, love is a very hard thing to grasp because we've been taught love in a lot of wrong ways. One of those wrong ways is to love money. It is a temporary fix for a deep longing inside of us. I think that we could almost all agree that there is a deep longing to be loved in us. That's why we, as a society, have put these social norms of using money to be loved. That's why we pay so much to show our significant other how much we love them. That's why we buy the flashy car. That's why we buy the big house or strive to buy these things, is because we want to be admired, valued by others, by our spouses, or by ourselves. Everything we do is out of love, whether it's love of others, love of self, or love of things. We do it all out of love. And if your wealth is the only thing you love, then you're missing a huge point of life. Because love is the greatest riches a man could ever have. I'm not saying that material riches is bad per se. I'm just saying that it's not making you fully rich. There's more riches with love than anything else. And the cool thing is we actually get to use riches to show love. That's something that has been orchestrated into our society. But if all you have is money, you're not actually rich. There has to be a reason for everything. And to find that reason, we have to ask why. And so I've asked myself, why is money so prominent? Why is it this social construct that has separated us and segregated us into different segments of a society? And it's because we have seen it wrongly. It has become our gaze rather than love and loving others, which I believe lasts. Comparative to money, it does not. You could burn it all up in a moment. You could lose it all in another. I encourage you to ask yourself what it means to be rich. And if it's only money, it's a little worrisome. Because what happens when that fades? What happens if you never get the money that you've been so longing to have? You'll live in a bottomless pit every day, desiring more. Some of the richest men still don't believe they have enough money. They are not satisfied with the amount of money they have. They're still worrying. Some of the richest people in the world still worry about money. That makes no sense. It's because money doesn't make you rich. It's a facade. It's all fake. Money is a construct that humanity made to help figure things out. But it is a literal blanket over our eyes. It's blinders over our eyes, telling us that if we have more value. But that's never how value has been associated. It's never how value has been brought forth. And this is why I'm urging you to ask why. Why have we put so much fixation on the amount of things, the amount of money we have, when we have people right in front of us who understand each other and were made to understand each other? Money will never understand you. Things will never make you feel more loved for the long run. It may feel good in the moment. And I love to travel. I love to experience new things. But even that cannot compare to us loving each other. I'm telling you, the richest thing you could ever do is find love. It will give you more wealth, more fulfillment than anything else, than any amount of money or fame or fortune. You are made for love. I urge you to ask why. What is richness? Its root. Because the things like money or cars are contingent truths waiting for a founder to be bestowed. And that foundation is love. It's the only thing that makes sense. if you look at every intricacy, its forefather is love. The founder of all things is love. It couldn't be money. Money was made. Couldn't be houses. Houses were made. It couldn't be cars. Cars were made. It couldn't be traveling because the way to travel is through boats, planes, and cars, and they were all made. So there has to be a foundational aspect, a core to it all. And that core, which is the richest thing, is to find love.